What a great opening day. Welcome everybody to the 8:05 post show to go over all the big highlights from a great day of action as we kicked off the Challenger Series and kicked off stop number 1 on the World Longboard Tour. And look at all these happy fans hanging out on the beach. Water's been increasing in temperature, nice and warm. With our favorite part, the waves were so rippable, maybe one of the best days we've had all summer. I'm not exaggerating, right?
No.
That's a real statement, all lined up on opening day. Thanks for being with us, Joe Trappell, Rosie Hodds, and Mitchell Salazar. So many great highlights to talk about. Starting with you, Mitch, what's really standing out?
I really liked the longboard, especially JR's performance at the end. I thought that was a stellar way to finish off day number 1. But, you know, Alistair Reginato, George Bitar, seeing a couple of the younger kids, especially a lot of the Australians, stand up and deliver good performances on day 1. I thought that really stood out to me, Joe.
Great to see that as well, and obviously a lot of energy running into the Women's Challenger Series as well, Rosie. A lot came down to check out the action today. I thought that was a smart move.
Yeah, really good just to see all the competitors kind of immersing themselves, getting the accreditation, getting dialed in, and watching the contest unfold, because we are going to have similar conditions on offer throughout the week. So come watch, come see what the judges are scoring.
Well, we were just talking about JR. Now on the glass with AJ. Take it away.
Not stop smiling either, because that heat was so much fun. You have a 7.67, the highest score of the day. What did you see on that wave?
Yeah, it was a nice wave and it's really long, so I put everything on it and try to like put a big score, and I'm so happy I got it.
And deservedly so. One of the things that was so impressive was just how much time you spent on the nose during your heat. How did you develop your comfort with that?
Yeah, I was just like having fun there and just do what I can, try to like get big scores, and yeah, just try to put everything what I can do. So yeah.
Big scores and big support, because you come into a raucous crowd who's all rooting for you. What does it mean to have them behind you?
It was super nice, because like it's like pushing me to do more and to do better. Yeah, it was so nice to like hear all the crowd here like cheering for me, and yeah, I'm so happy for it.
As you should be. We will see you in the next round. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the Filipino people, especially the guys who are here to support. Maraming salamat sa inyo, and to all the people in the Philippines watching. Thank you so much. Supportan ninyo.
Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, AJ. How cool is that? Finishing off on such a stellar performance from JR. Maybe the best support crew on the beach. I actually met a guy from the Philippines. He said he lives in Chicago now, but flew out because he wanted to watch JR perform.
Oh.
Wow.
That's called dedication, Mitch.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I think the impact that this is going to have, not only within the Philippines, but that part of Asia, is going to be substantial for them to grow as a sport in surfing overall, Joe.
Yeah, great waves there. We always hear about Cloud9. You know, that's had some moments as a QS, but it's just a rising surfing nation. They've had world-class waves for a while, and, you know, JR's in a good spot at the right time, getting a win, so he's straight into the round of 16.
Yeah, and it just shows, you know, the feeder system of having these regional events, and we're really uncovering some talent, and they're getting a profile. They're here on the main stage, and he got the best wave of the day. So cool following these stories.
I love it. And the story started off with the first heat for the season for the World Longboard Tour. This guy doesn't know what jet lag means. He knows how to get his boards, even if they're stuck somewhere in the airport. Ben Skinner, fresh off a win in Portugal representing England, got here in time for his opening round matchup. Took over. Still in rhythm from his win across the planet, Rosie. This was fun to watch.
Yeah, really cool. Just to see, you know, he's such a seasoned competitor, straight off the plane into the waves here at Huntington, and just doesn't skip a beat. One of the highest heat totals, I think, and then just what a way to kick off the longboard opening round.
Oh, really cool to see Ben Considine in rhythm too. He had some great waves, 737, 617, so everyone really turned up to kick off the longboard season.
Yeah, Considine and Max in this heat against Skinner had a couple of real good performances, especially this goofy footer right here. I thought Considine really had some strong nose rides, and unfortunately for him, I don't think his wave selection was the best that it could have been. First heat of the round, though, first heat of the event, it's really hard to adjust to a scale that you haven't seen so far out there in the lineup. But when it comes to Southside, excellent conditions I felt, even for the longboarders out there too, Joe.
Oh, it was so fun. And talk about the wave count. They could pick apart this lineup so well. Great to see the traditional act on the nose. And riding these boards that weigh at least 15 pounds so well. That glide was incredible, but it was Ben Skinner fresh off the plane into a heat wind. He said he's staying with a guy that just lives a couple of streets back from the pier, who's also from the UK, so he feels like he's home. He's able to run down, take a nap after that heat wind, and try to get on the right time zone for more heats later on in the week. So looking forward to see how Ben's going to really dive into this season. He said he's never been to Bells before, so it's going to be a couple of new locations for him on road to try to hunt down a world title this season, Rosie.
Yeah, this is really going to be fun, just tracking all of these athletes. I mean, Ben Skinner, he has finished runner-up in the world before, but it is all about having that consistency throughout the season and qualifying for that top 8 picture.
Also saw some great highlights from the Challenger Series. Rafael Teixeira was looking very inspired today, the south side of the pier, Mitch.
Yeah, this to me was one of the best performances of the day, and unfortunately here, John-Marc Takong and Nila Hanneman with, you know, a situation there at the beginning of the heat where an interference was called on the Filipino surfer in the white jersey. Hanneman makes it through in second place, but this performance to me, one of the strongest of the day, Joe. High five, known him for years. 2-time QS winner, both at the O'Neill Coldwater Classic and in Acapulco in Mexico. He's a great beach break surfer, but when it comes to technique, superb. Really love the timing on these backhand waves for him.
6.67, 6.10 for Teixeira, looking really in the zone. Eli Hanneman working with Chris Gallagher in this one. Had some nice moments to stay in second and advance. I talked to Gally after that heat, and Gally said, yep, we got through, but we definitely have some work to do going into the next round.
Yeah, I feel like Eli, you know, he's had these moments of brilliance, but it's really about keeping that through the rounds and keeping that momentum. I mean, we all expect such huge things from Eli Hanneman.
And it's great seeing the form as well. John-Marc trying to get through with that interference. His low score cut in half. Made his run really come up short. Tough to advance on when you don't have 2 full scores to count on, so that opening exchange was really rough. Sometimes you want to keep your confidence and not back down. It's a fine line there because he got on the wrong side of the interference call, ends up being eliminated in the round of 80.
You got to remember that you have 30 minutes out there, and if you have to let a moment go in the heat, I mean, it's just that. It's just a situation where, unfortunately for him, it's going to cost him in the grand scheme of things. He only has 2 events left, and if you're trying to requalify through the Challenger Series, you need to be in the top 20. He needs to make both finals day now moving forward, Joe.
Tough way to get an interference at the start of your heat, a balance of being overconfident, over-aggressive, going the wrong way. So he's going to be left out of that. Couple events left in the Challenger Series after this, with Portugal and also Saquarema as the season finale this year, with 10,000 points on the line for each win. Rosie, you got to say you still got a shot.
Yeah, you still got a shot, but it is a hard lesson learned and probably one that he won't be making in the future.
Very true. As we think about the best wave of the day, brought to you by Cup Noodles. We just saw this go down in the last heat for the longboarders. JR just stole the show with a 7.67, Mitchell.
Yeah, and I really thought positioning for him was crucial in this matchup, and look at that nose right there. I mean, held on to the 10, then went to the 5, back to the tight 5 right there, and the way he was able to hold that nose right for so long and then capitalize with a golden opportunity and a carve at the end, just beautiful stuff from the young goofy footer from the Philippines.
Really cool to see that energy. He came into the beach, won the last heat of the day, into the next round of competition. And it looks like there's some fun surf throughout this week. Surf Line right across the street is their main office right here in Huntington, the official forecaster of this event. We'll break it down to see what we might have for tomorrow morning. What are you seeing there, Rosie?
Yeah, more playful run of swirl. I mean, this is so fun, and it's got that little bit of west in it, which keeps it kind of peaky and really makes the peak so defined, Mitch.
Yeah, and you look at that AM wind very light in the morning, even from the south, and that's something that I really look forward to when it comes to that swell picking up from the south-southwest as well. You look at Sunday, even Monday, 3 to 4 feet faces, and even in the afternoon, it will be a little onshore. But Tuesday to me is going to be the trouble day. It's going to be a bit difficult to really scope the lineup there, but picks up again Wednesday afternoon, Joe. Should be fun.
That's right. So a lot to work with there, which is just great because it's been a tough summer for waves in Southern California. So we're scoring at the right time. As long as there's plenty of opportunity, we're really excited. I mean, peaks from every direction, lefts and rights were keepers today. Couple of moments above the lip. I mean, that's how you want to start the U.S. Open.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, even the wind played ball. There were a couple heats where it got a little bit southerly and chopped up the face, but this afternoon kind of glassy conditions. So, yeah, we got to be stoked with day one of competition and what we see in the forecast.
Fun time of the 805 post show because we break down the top 5 waves of the day. Some great moments here on Saturday. First, you get great waves, good surf, peaky conditions, and the Challenger Series guys come to perform. This guy from Manly Beach, George Pitar, was unstoppable today, Mitch.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's the new generation of Australian surfers that I feel are really going to capitalize once they make it to the CT, have a lot of experience competing over there in that region, especially when it comes to the junior surfers. Stellar stuff. And George Pitar, look at that carve right there. Strong performance from a tall kid, too. Really like to see him shine here in HB.
Yeah, real clean there with some big scores. Number 4 in the top 5, Kaniela Stewart. 7.43 was his high number for his heat win today.
Yeah, looking to go one better this year. Obviously finished second in this event. So he wants his eyes on the prize, seeing that he's made the little subtle adjustments. He says he's been training hard. So it's cool to see this guy really invested in this event and this year's Longboard Tour.
Gosh, he just seems like the new hero on the Longboard Tour, and we've been saying that for a couple of years now, coming close to a world title last season. As we see a familiar face getting number 3 on the top 5. His dad won this event back in the day, and look at the smooth surfing of Ian Gouveia, Mitch.
Yeah, it's a second-generation professional surfing right there, Joe. The Gouveia family, long lineage of surfing within Brazil and within Huntington Beach as well. You know, he spoke about his father making the final against Neco Palhares back in the day, but it just seemed like Gouveia was in form with the waves and dropping a big score on the right over there, Joe.
Gosh, he's so smooth. His dad's got a great style as well. Number 2 on the top 5, Ben Skinner once again. 7 and a 7.57. Really in sync, and he's got to be a favorite to win this week.
Oh, definitely. I mean, just watching that opening round of the longboarding, this field is so stacked. I really can't pick a winner at the moment just because of how well everyone surfed today.
Yeah, just his decisions look great, smooth in transition, great footwork on the tip as well, and he's going to be really solid throughout the week. Great in beach breaks, which makes sense from where he comes from over there in England, Mitch.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to the change of the tides, too. He'll be able to compete in a low tide and a high tide as well. A very adaptable surfer. His son, also Rip Curl Grom Surf champion over in Bell, so he's got a good relationship with that wave as well.
So cool. He was saying that his son Lucas has already given him some tips on how to perform on the Bell's Bowl because Ben hasn't been there yet. So asking his Grom what to expect later on this season, and winning the 805 post show. Number 1 on the daily top 5. Man from Haleiwa, Shion Crawford looking sharp today.
I like that. Winning the post show. Shion, I mean, this guy, I love that board under his feet. I love just the way that he was so engaged in the seat. But chatting to Chris Gallagher, he said he came down to the beach, he didn't have wax, he was just like, didn't have a second set of fins. So there's a couple things. Yeah, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he can tighten up a couple things. But if he's putting on performances like that, I mean, that's the kind of surfing we want to see.
Yeah. That brings out the best in you, Mitch, right? I mean, you're not trying to overthink anything. Well, maybe you got to think a little bit. You need
We've
fins.
all been there.
You need to bring wax.
Yeah, well, and you need to bring an extra set of fins, an extra leaf string. I mean, there's certain things where being in a Grom won't pay out in the future, but what a performance, especially in the first heat of the morning, too. That is not easy to do, especially when all the eyes are on you here at the Open, too, Joe.
Oh, very true. As we saw the Surfline forecast, tomorrow's looking really fun as well. The Challenger Series for the women is looking to get started right at 8 o'clock local time. For now, we're going to say goodbye from Huntington Beach. Thanks for joining us on opening day. We'll leave you with the highlights and see you bright and early. It's summertime in Southern California as we welcome you to the Wallex U.S. Open of Surfing presented by Pacifico. How fun is it this morning, Mitch?
Waves are amazing, Joe. It's nonstop out there.
Huge air reverse right there. Stop number 1 of the World Longboard Tour. We're switching gears here. Levitating there through that section. That was difficult to do.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.